Bang, just like that, I'm a criminal. Congratulations on the conviction of a blind grandmother for playing music. Make no mistake, this is a bad faith bylaw. It is time to strike it down. It is time to use your noise bylaw, your nuisance bylaw, your safer streets bylaw, and other criminal statutes for problems on the streets. City Council should never be in the business of legislating any kind of arts and cultural activities. I have been given a diagnosis of stage 4 lung cancer. I have numerous brain tumors and a sarcoma on my spine. Currently, I must take steroids in order to fight the swelling on my brain. This may be my last summer. For 20 years, I asked several councils for shade and shelter for street entertainers because the street is a workplace. Many of our buskers died from cancer in various forms. I also cited that putting busking spots directly in front of a street where there are gas fumes and diesel fumes was detrimental to the health of buskers. Unfortunately, I've been proven right. So I'm asking you to drop your bylaw. I am telling you that you have far more important things to deal with in our city than a poor busker just trying to earn a few cents. You took away my living, and you tried to criminalize me over and over again because I criticized the bad faith bylaw. You all owe me an apology.
On July 24, 2017, longtime busker and community advocate Catherine Davis approached Nanaimo City Council, along with fellow veteran busker Marty Steele, to ask City Hall to review the Street Entertainers Bylaw, which regulates where and for how long buskers may perform within the city, among other regulations. A Nanaimo News Bulletin article from August 12, 2017, reported that Nanaimo Council had called for a review of the bylaw. In the Bulletin article, Nanaimo Mayor Bill McKay, who also made the motion for Council to review the bylaw, stated that he would like to see a review pertaining to the number of busking spots, on audition process, and enforcement. Ms. Davis and Mr. Steele had voiced concerns to Council about the lack of legal busking spots available on the downtown waterfront, as well as not being able to use a microphone to project your vocals. Now, it's important to note that Ms. Davis and Mr. Steele were referring to professional buskers who do not ask or panhandle for money, but do accept tips, much like the professional street entertainers found on Victoria's waterfront.
This is my suitcase. It's to show you that I'm not a bag lady. I'm a busker, but I'm not a homeless person or a panhandler.
Earlier this afternoon, at Nanaimo City Council's Committee of the Whole meeting, and nearly a year after Council passed a motion seeking a review of the bylaw, Ms. Davis delivered an impassioned message from the heart about her frustrations with the bylaw. Before Ms. Davis spoke, Councillor Gord Fuller made a notice of motion to update and revisit both the busking and the food truck bylaws. Ms. Davis told Council that she currently had cancer, and in a heart-wrenching comment stated that this could be her last summer. She claimed that the city had sought and received an interlocking injunction order preventing her to busk on the waterfront, as well as numerous tickets, citations, and notices against her by the city, which she claims that no other buskers receive except for her. Ms. Davis stated that there needs to be more busking spots set aside on the downtown waterfront that are shaded, claiming that buskers have died in the past due to heat exhaustion, and concluded her delegation by stating, "You all owe me an apology." Ms. Davis took exception with Councillor Fuller making his motion for an update on the busking bylaws almost a year after the same council already voted for a review and has since been lost in the shuffle.
Thank you for reminding us of some of the things that have taken place, and I know that you and I have spoken on multiple occasions since the time that I became on council in 2005 in respect to the busker bylaw, and we faced countless challenges to be able to move the needle in the favor.
You've done nothing about it, none of you, not a single one of you. Gord Fuller, it's been a year since I was here, and now you bring up a notice of motion? Do you know how many buskers have died because there's no shelter and no shade?
I've always agreed with you, Kathy, that the busking bylaw sucks. I mean, I was involved in the creation of it back in the early 2000s, took 6 months to get buskers on the committee. And to me, that was ludicrous. And then every time we would come up with some good ideas, they would be gone the next time, and so on and so forth. And then the bylaw came out and it was approved. Yep, you are consistent in emailing us, and on January 2nd, which was the last time I can find, I might be able to find others, I had sent an email out to Mayor and Council that I wanted to bring this forward again for review. I don't like having to make motions on everything that we do. Some things should be done just on a regular basis. Every 5 years, every bylaw should be updated. This isn't being done. So tonight, I am finding myself actually having to make a motion to have it reviewed. Yep, it's taken a long time, and for that I apologize. And no, I don't know how many buskers have died in Nanaimo because of the heat.
City of Nanaimo Director of Public Safety Karen Fry informed City Council after the delegation that the busking bylaw had been on the queue list of other bylaws to be reviewed over the past year. She stated that there was preliminary movement on the bylaw review at City Hall about a year ago, but the bylaw review has since been missed due to the change in managers at the Bylaw Enforcement Office.
Through your worship, yes, that is correct. It is noted to be reviewed. They have done some preliminary work, be it not within the last year. It was missed with the change in managers at the bylaw office.
After the delegation, several on council did respond to Ms. Davis with personal apologies.
And it also discerns me immensely, as I'm sure it does everybody else at this table, that there hasn't been a favorable turn of events as it relates to the busking bylaw. I can only say from my point of view, you asked for an apology, you receive an apology from my heart to your heart that we haven't been active or proactive to change the busking bylaw as we know it today. You have my 100% apology on that.
Catherine, thank you. I'm sorry for you and your family, what you've gone through. From my personal involvement, 1996 on Parks and Recreation, we sent it to council, had public input, tried to do something. Of course, we make it up on the fly. But quite honestly, over that time, to have my fingerprints on it didn't help. I'm sorry.
Thank you. It's a bad faith bylaw. It's a bad faith bylaw.
Every city makes it up, does what they want, do it how they want, administer how they want.
You can be a better
There's
council.
nothing you can do as a council, sitting here as an individual.
You can
I
be
can
a
say
better
there's nothing
council.
I can do for you. You can't make a difference.
I have no further questions for you, ma'am.
In the end, a notice of motion was made by Councillor Fuller, and hopefully Council will have a review on the bylaw in the very near future.